So in this class, back again to fiber optics class, and we have discussed that the light rays travel through the optical fiber through the phenomena of total internal reflection. There will be a core and the light gets guided in the core, and the core is having a greater refractive index than that of the cladding, and it travels through the core only. It won't get scattered or refracted away. Light entering the core travels within the core by the phenomena of total internal reflection. And you have studied what is total internal reflection. So we will brush up our knowledge again. Suppose what's happening here is that I'm assuming the light ray traveling from one medium to another. Here actually what is happening, there is an interface, and here it is the core cladding interface, and the light ray is moving from core to cladding. The refractive index of core is n1. Refractive index of core is n1, and this is the core region and this is the cladding region. Refractive index of cladding is n2, and the light ray is traveling from core to cladding. Normally, suppose I'm drawing a straight line. The straight line drawn is the normal. I'm drawing the normal here. And suppose we are having an incident ray. This is our incident ray. Okay, this is our incident ray, and the incident angle is theta. Sorry. Incident angle is what? It is theta 1, and refracted angle, suppose this is a refracted ray, and the light ray is traveling from a medium of refractive index n1, and n1 is greater than n2. N1 is greater than n2. So what I have to write? N1 is greater than n2. Okay, what happens? Light ray bends towards the away from the normal. Light is traveling from a denser medium to a rarer medium, so it bends away from normal. So what happens is that first light ray will traverse a path like this way, and this angle is refracted ray. This angle is the refracted ray, and I'll name it as theta 2. Now what I'm doing, I'm increasing my angle of incidence. Means what happens? It changes to here. Angle of incidence changes to here. Then what happens? Refracted ray bends away from the normal like this way. And again, if I'm increasing the angle of incidence at a particular angle of incidence, what happens? Refracted ray will be along this region, that is along the interface region, and this angle will be what? 90 degree. This angle will be 90 degree. Okay, right. So at a particular angle of incidence, and this is that angle of incidence, and I'll name it as what? What is that name of that angle of incidence for which the refracted ray makes an angle 90 degree with that normal? What is that angle of incidence called? Yes, it is called as critical angle, and that angle of incidence is called as critical angle theta c. That is called as the critical angle theta c. It is called the critical angle theta c. Critical angle theta c. At this particular angle, the refracted ray makes an angle theta 90 degree with the normal. And if you are increasing the angle above the critical angle, what happens? If I am increasing the angle above the critical angle, what happens? All rays will be reflected back. This ray will be reflected back. So normally my ray path will be like this way. if I'm drawing it here, ray path will be, this is the incident ray and this will be the refracted ray. Then this phenomena is called total internal reflection, and this happens only if the angle of incidence is what, greater than critical angle. There won't be refracted rays, all rays will be reflected back. This happens only if the light ray travel from a denser medium, that is from the core to the cladding, which is a rarer medium as compared to the core. So this is how the light travels. Light is guided through an optical fiber through the phenomena of total internal reflection. So I can write sin theta I or sin theta C by sin theta 2. Okay, and what happens here is that at when theta I can write it here like this way. When theta 1 is the angle of incidence. Theta 1 is equal to theta C. When theta 1 is equal to theta C, what happens? Theta 1 is equal to theta C. What happens? Theta 2 becomes 90 degree. Theta 2 becomes 90 degree. 90 degrees. Theta 2 become 90 degree. Okay. When theta 1 is equal to theta C, theta 2 becomes 90 degree. Then by Snell's law, sine of angle of incidence. Sine of angle of incidence. Sine of angle of incidence is theta C. And angle of refraction is what? Sine 90. At critical angle, Snell's law become sine 90. Sine 90 is what? 1. And it is equal to what? N2 by N1. Okay. N2 by N1. N2 by N1. So what I'll get? Sin theta C is equal to sin theta C is equal to N2. Sin 90 is 1 means sin theta C is equal to N2 by N1. So what will be cos theta C from here? Or theta C is equal to what? I can write theta C. Theta C is equal to what? Sin inverse. Theta C is equal to sin inverse N2 by, I'll put a bracket here, sin inverse N2 by N1. Sin inverse N2 by N1. So this is called the critical angle. Okay, this is called the angle at which the total internal reflection takes place, and when light ray travels from a denser medium to a rarer medium. Okay, this is how light gets propagated through a optical fiber by the phenomena of total internal reflection. Hope it is clear for you. So next we'll discuss critical angle of propagation. Okay, next we'll discuss critical angle of propagation in our next class. Okay, so hope you have understood the phenomena of total internal reflection.